And as Isha said, we are Lipstick and Logic, and today we will be talking about, I want to say everyone's favorite subject, but it can also be construed as like the most hated subject too,
Yeah.
depending on the mood you're in and the tone it's taken. But we are talking about natural hair today, which we all actually have, right? Yeah, we do. I'm saying right and looking at me because my hair's not out.
I was the last one to get hit, honestly.
I
Uh,
was the last,
She
but
was she was hooked on that creamy crack.
I was hooked on cream crack. I can't lie. I definitely was. But I was also natural for most of my life. And as our viewers join, if you guys want to tell us about your hair journey, if you're natural or if you're permed or if you just decide to shave the whole thing off. And if you're a man, if you prefer natural hair, if you prefer straight hair, we don't judge there. Let us know. But yeah, I grew up being natural. I actually did not learn to comb my hair because I feel like I should be embarrassing this, but I'm not. It is what it is. My mom combed my hair until like I permed it after I graduated from high school, and
that's
that's also part
I
of the
didn't
reason I permed
realize
it.
that.
I know. I think she had one day where I was like a senior in high school, and I'm like, Mom, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with my hair, and she said, figure it out. And I went to school looking a hot mess that day. Because I didn't know what to do. So for me, that was definitely a huge factor in me deciding to perm my hair because I was going to college and I said, what am I going to do? I don't know how to do this myself. It was difficult for me. But Isha, you were permed for a little bit too.
Yeah, I was permed all the way up until my junior and senior year of high school.
Right.
And then since then, I've been natural. So it's been over 10 years now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, I've done quite a few things. Like, I feel like my hair story is really boring, but then it's also kind of exciting. I didn't do anything with my hair for a long time. I let it grow out. I used to do this thing where I would like straighten my bangs.
I remember. I'm not laughing at you though, but
No,
you did.
I didn't. I also had one lock at one point during college, like just one,
I know.
and then when I went to grad school, it was mostly natural. Never colored my hair. I might have done henna, but my hair is so dark it does nothing. And I
Right.
put locks in my hair. That was one of my most favorite hair journeys, to be honest. Um, that was cut short. Took those out. I didn't cut them, but I picked them out, and then my hair was the healthiest it had ever been in my life.
Right.
And it was really long, and then I was pregnant at the same time, so I just had like this huge, luscious baby hair. Then I had my son, had postpartum shedding,
Mm-hmm.
and most recently, like after I had him, there was really no time to do my hair. I would throw in braids and protective styles, and I would do them myself. No time with the baby. It's like, they always want to be held. So it's been difficult for me to do that.
Right.
And now, most recently, I've been itching to cut my hair, and I just did it. And it was great. And I'm really happy I did it too. It was kind of like, I don't know, I feel free. Even though I could go
It looks
shorter,
good.
I probably will, but it was awesome. So
It looks great too.
thank you. Thank you. I
And
cut
Jess, you.
it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I cut it myself too.
I know.
Letting everybody else know. But yeah.
Yeah. And Jess, you've been through a lot with your natural hair journey as well.
Yeah, I haven't had a perm, but just growing up in a mixed race family and mostly around my Asian family, I wanted to like look the same and not be different. So I'd straighten my hair quite a bit. So I just went through this whole thing where my hair was heat damaged, but it was at that time period when no one really cared about heat damage. It was kind of just like, oh yeah, my hair doesn't take a lot to straighten because it's been straightened so much, it stays straight. So then I went through
Could
this
be
whole
something you'd be proud of, right? Like, oh, it's so
yeah,
easy to straighten my hair. Like, you didn't like
right.
the crap out.
So it's fried, yeah, basically. So yeah, I went through that, and I cut my hair quite a few times to my chin, but then I'd straighten it again, and I think in college is kind of was the turning point for me, and I think it was kind of for a lot of people just because towards the end, because that was like 2011, 2012, people were starting to come out into the natural thing, and they started cutting their hair and doing the big chop and everything. And so Aisha was really someone that I looked up to for hair advice, because one, she seemed to just know all of her stuff about hair, and she always had these great styles that she was doing with her hair. And so one day I remember I did some single strand twists, and I was like, man, the top part is really nice and thick, and then the bottoms were stringy. So I just started cutting my hair while they were in the twist. And then after that, it was kind of just a back and forth for me between being comfortable with my curly hair and then still wanting to straighten it. But now I've gotten to the point where it's just like, okay, I'm cool. This is my hair. Just learn how to take care of it. And then sometimes it's hard too, because people in my family will, and they've said this to my face, it's not a big deal, but they'll be like, oh, it's a little too big today, or it looks like you didn't brush your hair today. So some of that stuff I've learned to kind of just brush off and let it bounce off. But it still sometimes is a struggle.
And I mean, I think it's fair to say that that's in a lot of cultures, especially within the Black culture. There's the good hair versus bad hair, which a lot of us struggle with. I know for us, because Jessica and I have been together since like, not diapers, but pretty close to it. So we grew up together. We went to school together, you know, middle school, elementary. And I would say, especially our 8th grade class, we had so many girls with like the best hair. It sounds so horrible. And by best, I don't mean like straight versus kinky. I mean healthy, a very healthy head of hair. But I think that's kind of when we were going to high school too. And you know, for both of us, Jess, we straightened our hair like crazy in 8th grade, to the point where my mom was combing my hair one day and she's like, you have patches of hair coming out. And that's kind of the first time I had to drastically chop off my hair, and I cried so much, because you feel like your identity, especially as a Black woman, you're kind of raised to feel like your identity is in your hair. So it's difficult when you have to let that go, initially at least. But for me, I know that you kind of said that, you know, you come to this point, especially around 2012, where people were very comfortable with natural hair, and that's when a lot of people started making the transition. But it happened later for me, because I was permed and very happy with my permed hair. I would try to convince them to perm their hair literally all the time. I'm like, guys, just so permanent. Like, you're gonna be so much happier. It's so much easier. But I was actually at work, and work is what made me want to go natural, because I had people that I worked around that were not the same color as I am. And so a natural Black woman walked past and they made a comment about her hair, and why can't she comb her hair? Why doesn't her hair look neat? And I said, it's not that there's anything wrong with her hair. It's just different. It's not the European standard of what we consider beauty, but for them, it just wasn't professional. And what really stuck with me was when someone said, well, your hair isn't like that. And I said in my head that day, I never told you guys that? That was the moment. Yeah, I think that was like 2015 or 2016. I said, you know what? I'm going natural. And I think I got one.
Extra, but
to be a little bit extra. But that was honestly what made me decide to go natural. Because I mean, at the time I was putting a lot of color in my hair and it was damaged. I knew I needed to cut it. But I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go natural now, because I don't want to be the person that people look at and say, well, Shireen doesn't do that and she's Black, so why can't you do that? At the same time, I want to tell all the permed women out there, I like, do what you do what makes you comfortable, and that's fine. But that was just how I felt.
I don't know. I have a different, I had that experience with my natural hair in high school, because I went to a predominantly white institution, high school. I know that's usually referred to as colleges, but I was usually the only Black girl. And that's actually where I went natural, was in high school around a bunch of white kids. And I would get, like, they would put stuff in my hair, like, because I would have this puff, and they would put like pencils in the back of my hair to see if I could feel it or not. And after a while, I went off on one of the guys that did it, and, you know, they stopped. But I went through that whole, I would even call it like a radical stage and being natural, like, you know, power to the people. You know,
that's when I
was really militant about it too. I'm like, why are you perming your hair? You shouldn't do that. I was really annoying in college. really annoying about that kind of
No.
stuff.
We loved you anyway, though.
Yeah, they did. Praise God. But so, but today, I think my relationship with my hair is different. I get frustrated by it. I get frustrated because I think that hair is oftentimes like tied to your femininity, it's tied to
It's
your
true.
identity, it's tied
Right.
to sexuality, it's tied to so many things, and it can be burdensome. Like
Mm-hmm.
for a woman, there's a lot of things you have. Your aesthetics, your face, your makeup, your hair, and I'm a mom on top of it. I'm not saying that other women can't do it because I do see some women out there slaying. They have their hair laid every week, makeup done and on point, and heels, and the cutest outfits all the time. And more power to you. I don't know how you do it, but for me, I just want to get up and go. Like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I want to get up and go and look bad. I just want to get up and go and be the best me ever. Like I want to wake up like this. And so right now, this is one of the first, like this haircut, and even my locks is one of the first sort of hairstyles that I can literally like go to bed even without a bonnet or satin scarf. For those of you who don't know, we wear satin scarves in our hair to protect our hair for the following day and protect it from damage.
Definitely.
With some education. But I don't know. Like I was really frustrated with my hair. Like I get frustrated, like, oh, I have to do it. If I don't do my hair, I'm gonna look like this. I'm gonna look like a bum. I don't look nice enough today. It would get to even to the point where I didn't want to go anywhere because I didn't feel like doing my hair, or my hair wasn't responding the way I wanted it to look, or it didn't look as big as, Natural 85's hair or as curly as Mahogany Curl's hair. Like it was getting old, really getting old. And um I don't know. I cut it and I feel happy. I can get up and go, and I don't feel um, tied to a standard of beauty. Like it's easier for me to be authentic in my beauty, if that makes sense, or to be comfortable in my authenticity. And that was something I also learned with my locks, because you go through the ugly stage of, of the baby locks. They don't look like locks, they look like old twists. And then after a while, it looks really terrible. And then they start to grow. And that was a really awesome time for me, like to really just focus on me and not focus about what my hair is doing and what other people think about when they see me and my hair and my presentation. Like you're presenting from the inside out, like you're just true authentic self. So that's kind of been my thing with hair recently.
So I want to talk about biases for just a quick minute, because we've touched on different biases that we've all experienced. For example, Jessica with your family, um, Isha with your peers in high school, me
Mm-hmm.
with coworkers. And something else that Isha said that I don't think that we necessarily think of as a bias ties into this study that is called the Good Hair Study that was done with Shea Moisture about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And natural women also have a slight bias towards natural hair, which is something that you said you experienced in college with saying, everybody should go natural.
Mm-hmm.
But they conducted this study with 4,000 participants of, I believe, different races. And especially in the workplace, there's definitely a bias towards having straighter hair versus natural hair and wearing your natural texture. And it also says that millennials of all races are more accepting of textured hair, which is something that I definitely think I experience with the compliments I get from different people. For example, I can hear someone that's from an older generation say something like, "Oh, I love when you wear your hair like that when I have straight hair," versus someone else that's younger will say to me, "Oh, sure, you should wear your hair like that more when it's out and it's natural and I'm doing like my flipped out or something." Um, Something else that this study stated is bias is a learned behavior, which I think we know, but we don't necessarily think about. So for me, what I was doing when I decided to completely go natural and chop off my perm was, in my head, I said, this is my contribution towards the natural hair society,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna make people accept me because this is me and y'all need to get used to it. So I don't necessarily think you have to be as aggressive as I was with doing it, but we can remember that, people have opinions, but opinions can change.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead,
you
guys.
got that last part. I didn't hear it.
I said people have opinions, but opinions can be changed.
Okay.
Opinions can be changed. That's true. And I think, like, for me, I feel like I've been working on that kind of stuff with my family because, for the most part, when they make comments about my hair to me, it used to bother me enough to where I really just always wanted it straight. That's when I felt the prettiest. That's when I felt like I fit in. Like when we all went out together, that I wasn't standing out like a sore thumb. And it sounds terrible, but it also made me feel like I was as pretty as they were, if that makes sense. So for me, it was just kind of okay, getting older and then I'm so thankful for having gone to Oakwood and been around people that embrace that. Exactly. So I felt like it gave me kind of the mindset to be able to tolerate having things said to me about my hair, but not letting it affect me still wearing my hair like that. Because at the end of the day, my family loves me. This is my hair. This is how it's going to look. I'm different from you. And, that doesn't make me any less pretty or, I mean, of course, different and maybe a little more unique, but still, this is me. So accept it. That's it. I combed my hair and this is what happened.
And it's beautiful. Like, you have such a gorgeous head of hair. And you know what I think is, maybe funny is not the right word, but in my head it's kind of funny because, Jessica's biracial. So she has what so many people would consider to be good hair, but even within like your own family, you still experience that bias that someone outside looking in wouldn't expect you to experience. So thank you for sharing your truth. I think that's awesome. All right. So viewers, feel free to comment about, your hair journey, your hair struggles, your hair judgments. Do you judge people that have natural hair, or do you judge people that have permed hair? We want to hear all of it. Let us know. All right, guys. Are you ready to talk about the lipstick portion of Lipstick and Logic?
Yep.
Okay. You want to start, Isha? You're the first one.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I'm wearing Prod by NYX and Griselda. I think it's Griselda by Fenty. That's my liner.
It's one of my favorites. Very pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Today I am wearing, so I'm kind of wearing two-ish, not really. I basically put on one of my favorite, the purple on Defeated by Fenty earlier today. I only put it on once for the day. So by the end of the day, like right before we did this, all that was there was like an outline. And I said, I really want to put this on again. And I did it. So I filled it in with Shy by Bite. And I love this color.
Pretty.
You're objective.
Okay. So I'm wearing Glossier, and I hope it's right side up. Okay. Here it is. Yeah, I'm wearing Cam. So it's basically their whole thing is natural looking makeup, blotted look like your lips, but better, I guess. I don't know. But I really like it. And the formula is really nice. So
it's pretty. And I know we're talking about lipstick, but still try their cloud paints. They're amazing.
They're wear those like blushes or something, or
yeah, they're like liquid. So pretty. I'm obsessed.
I've been in love with liquid blushes ever since I tried the NARS one. So I love them so much. Yeah.
So great. I used to wear an NYX one. Storm is so pretty, but I ran out. I don't think they sell it anymore. Not the point. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a great discussion. Again, feel free to let us know what you think below. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Bye.